Think of the gradient as the mountain's heartbeat, a raw mathematical measure of the battle against gravity. Watch our rider start on the flats. The arrow is small and glowing green, a gentle whisper that the path is forgiving. But as he attacks the curve, the terrain fights back. The ground turns unforgiving, forcing the arrow to stretch into a warning of pure verticality. It shifts from a calm green to a violent blazing red, a visual scream of effort, proving that the gradient doesn't just point the way up. It measures the sheer intensity of the climb. Let's consider this example. At the first location, near point 3 on the horizontal axis, the surface rises only slightly as we move forward. The measured change in height is small, and the gradient appears as a green arrow, pointing gently uphill. As we move to a new position around 1.2, the surface rises faster over the same step. The gradient grows, turns yellow, showing a stronger uphill direction. Finally, near 1.55, the curve becomes steep. A small step now causes a large increase in height, and the gradient turns red, clearly marking the direction of fastest rise. Across all three cases, the rule remains the same. Step forward, measure the change, and let the gradient reveal both direction and strength. To truly grasp divergence, forget the complex formulas for a moment and imagine a central city train station. In the morning, we witness positive divergence. The station acts as a source, generating a massive outflow as commuters erupt from the center and expand outward into the city. But as the day ends, the flow reverses into negative divergence. The station transforms into a sink, capturing traffic from the surroundings and pulling it vertically inward to a single point. Ultimately, the math is just asking one simple physical question. Is this specific location acting as a launch pad for expansion or a destination for convergence? We are visualizing divergence, the measure of expansion. Our math predicts a divergence of 2x plus 2. Let's test it. On the left, our scanner turns red, a negative divergence or sink, where the field collapses inward. As we cross the center, we hit 0, perfect equilibrium. But moving right, the scanner glows green, a positive source, proving that in this region the field is actively expanding. The curl isn't magic. It is a battle between two specific forces. The formula asks two fundamental questions. First, how does the vertical lift change as we move right? Second, how does the horizontal push change as we move up? Let's visualize the first term by looking at the vertical forces. If the up force on the right is stronger than the up force on the left, the object twists counterclockwise, creating positive curl. Conversely, for the second term, if the horizontal right force on the top is stronger than the right force on the bottom, it twists clockwise. This opposes the first rotation, which is why we subtract it in the formula. Ultimately, the total curl is simply the difference between these two twisting forces. If they balance out, there is zero spin, but if one wins, we have curl. We deploy an AI scanner to analyze the wind field, calculating the curl at every coordinate. In safe areas, the air flows mostly straight and the curl remains near 0, but as we approach a disturbance, massive differential forces, fast air grinding against slow air, cause the curl value to spike. The AI flags this region not because it visually sees a cloud, but because the math proves the field is rotating. This is the essence of modern weather prediction. Models don't look for pictures of storms. They hunt for regions of maximum curl. Let's compare the big three: gradient in blue, divergence in green, and curl in red. Starting with their symbols. The gradient uses the plain del operator, divergence adds the dot product, and curl adds the cross product. Next, looking at the input, The gradient works on scalars, which are simple numbers, while the others act on vector fields. Finally, regarding the output, the gradient creates a vector because slope implies direction, whereas divergence collapses vectors into a scalar rate. And curl creates a new vector, representing the axis of spin.